My proposal is to acquire a 3D printer for the Willowa Makerspace Club to use. "3D printing offers the innovative opportunity to quickly create a physical copy of a 3D digital model, essential for rapid prototyping of a concept. This technology is common now in engineering firms, healthcare, and in architecture and fine arts. It is imperative for students to be able to explore and become familiar with this key technology to foster creativity, visualize multidimensional objects, and prepare for future careers. Students will enter the workforce more prepared to accept 3D printing as a way of life. The way computers have changed most jobs, 3D printing will provide significant changes to areas of industries within the nation." How 3D printing aligns to the Anchorage School District's goals. Having a 3D printer aligns to goal number 2, engage and empower students. All learners will have engaging and empowering learning experiences both in and out of school that prepare them to be active, creative, knowledgeable, and ethical participants in our globally networked society. Personalized learning, also under goal number 2. Anchorage School District will continue to develop instructional models that support learning based on the learner's specific interests, pace, and preferences. Increasing use of technology can provide students an element of choice, access to information, and the opportunity to take ownership of their own learning. 3D printing also aligns with the Anchorage School District's mission statement, educating all students for success in life. The vision statement, all students will graduate prepared for post-secondary and employment opportunities. Having access to a 3D printer can impact student learning in the following ways. Students have access to physical models to assist in learning, and 3D printing promotes engagement. Students are able to gain a deeper understanding of physical and spatial concepts that were otherwise difficult to visualize and understand in an abstract manner. 3D printing is a powerful force in education, helping to make concepts, ideas, problems, and solutions far more tangible and understandable by bringing objects to life and out of the confines of the 2D paper pages and images of textbooks. 3D printing enhances hands-on learning and learning by doing. Using this prototyping technology, students will be able to produce realistic three-dimensional mini models. 3D printing also helps students prepare for STEM-related careers. The cost of a 3D printer varies depending on where the printer comes from and what it's going to be used for. Through my research, I found the best place that I think would be to purchase a 3D printer for students to be used in a school would be from MakerBot. They were one of the first places to start building these 3D printers. For funding, a 3D printer could possibly be acquired through DonorsChoose or a technology grant such as the Library Services and Technology Act. I have included a brief video here that explains what 3D printing is and how it can further students' learning.
Printing is the process of taking virtual creations on a computer and taking those representations and sending them to a printer which lays down layers of material to build a physical representation of an object. What's interesting about this from an educational perspective is that learning can now be linked to physical objects, and essentially that object becomes a mnemonic, which is a device for helping us to remember and understand ideas. So one could take, various concepts, social studies, math, science, link them to topics like CTS, and use a tool like a 3D printer to make that real. Oftentimes students ask, well, why are they learning this? I think by providing them opportunities to create real objects or elements gives them that rationale and helps provide an answer to why we're learning. Part of it is the creation process, that we have an opportunity to create an object from our minds, from information we've researched, or from our imaginations, and make that real.
A unit plan for introducing 3D printing to students. Students will be able to independently use their learning to design and print a 3D object using free 3D software. This unit meets several standards, including literacy and technology. Technology standards include creativity and innovation, communication and collaboration, research and information fluency, critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. Essential questions for this unit include: what is 3D printing? And what can you make with 3D printing? Students will be able to explain how 3D printer works. They'll be able to identify what 3D printers currently can and cannot print. They will be skilled at sketching a useful object that could be made using current 3D printer technology, and then printing that object using the 3D printer. Performance tasks include working collaboratively to research 3D printing, generating a list of questions they have, and a list of things they would like to create using a 3D printer. Through discussion and sharing, we will address student questions and understanding of 3D printing. We'll watch a short video about 3D printing, and then students would use graph paper to sketch an object that is both useful and simple enough to print on a 3D printer. I'll evaluate student understanding through discussion, a quiz about the video and 3D printing, and the quiz is here online. Here is a rubric that I created to assess student understanding. It included the quiz, research with a partner, and the planning and printing of their useful 3D object.